Mr. Speaker, January 6th was not a tourist day. It was a horrific attack on the police who protect our country. And I saw with my own eyes the officers with blood on their faces, battered and bruised from fighting off a violent mob. So many of them had to go to the hospital to get stitches, to get medical care. They were severely wounded. And I'll never forget the smell of tear gas or the horror on people's faces as we were rushed out of this chamber. I watched from the Speaker's chair as Republicans cowered and hid for their lives that day. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. Okay. Without objection, the Chair declares the House in recess pursuant to Clause 12B of Rule 1. And on Monday, Republicans let out the violent political extremists who did all of this. Republicans let them back out on the streets. Trump called them patriots. He called them hostages. There's nothing patriotic about beating police officers with flagpoles, Mr. Speaker. The patriots were the law enforcement officers who protected this institution. There's nothing patriotic about the KKK, the Oath Keepers, or the Proud Boys. Trump pardoned them. There's nothing patriotic about viciously assaulting police officers. There's nothing patriotic about bashing heads and breaking into the Capitol building because of a deranged fantasy that you're going to overthrow the government. There's nothing patriotic about any of that. But Donald Trump doesn't care. He pardoned them because he only cares about him. Mr. Speaker, where is your outrage over any of this? Where is your spine? To be silent after these pardons is terrible, and it speaks for itself. And as for me, I stand with the police officers who were here that day. I stand with the officers who were trying to maintain law and order. I stand with the people who are disgusted that Donald Trump is opening the doors and letting out the criminals who attack them. I don't hear a single Republican brave enough to come to this floor and condemn these pardons, not a single one. It's cowardice. It's hypocrisy. They are rewarding political violence and setting the stage for much, much worse things to come. You heard from Representative Scanlon. Some of them are bragging about how they're going out to buy more guns. What is that about? Violent, dangerous people who beat cops, who tried to kill members of this body, who tried to kill our staff. They're let back on the streets by Donald Trump. It's a disgrace. You should be ashamed, Mr. Speaker. You own this now. You know that. And the law enforcement officers of this country know it too. They're watching and they will remember. There's a great conservative, Edmund Burke, who once said, you know, all that it takes for evil to triumph is for good men and women to do nothing, to be silent. Well, I, for one, am not going to be silent. We're going to continue to talk about this until we get it right in this country, in this chamber. I can't speak for my friends on the other side of the aisle, but if today is any indication, you're just hoping and pray that it goes away, that everybody forgets. But we will never forget what happened here on January 6th. The American people will never forget. And the American people did not vote for this. They did not vote to let these violent criminals back on the streets. So I urge a no vote, and I yield back the balance of my time.